everybody? Welcome to the Dad Challenge Podcast. My name's Josh. Thanks for joining me. Part 2 of the Roland conversation. Hopefully the end, because I wanted to skip forward. It was really hard because every time he says something, I want to rebut it. But this is part 2 of the Roland conversation where he gets into it with me. And then we'll get near the end. You'll see he starts threatening me after he realizes he has lost this argument. The ship has sailed. He lost the argument. But real quick, spin the wheel. Gotta win a prize for someone good. I like to debate, even if you like cake. Hurry up! Amy Hudnall. Reach out to Josh at thedadchallengepodcast.com with your shirt size and your address, and I'm gonna hook you up. Let's finish this video.
It's that time of year. DCP's here to snark and to jeer for these buttholes to hear. Don't forget to book your pap smear. Snarkmas 2023.
Ho, ho, ho! Nana, you son of a bitch!
Okay, so here we are. Continuing, I think he just said, like, I don't post my daughter with the intention of that. And I am about to agree.
That would never be I don't think you're posting stuff because you think that's what's happening. I absolutely don't believe that at all. No, I don't think so at all. I think but there are some families out there who understand, and I'm not saying this is you, but like take for example a channel that does my daughter went to the dentist, right? And they're wondering why they got 500,000 more views.
Anyway, I'm gonna skip ahead.
I don't let my daughter walk in public with her. At minimum, please never do a meet and greet with your daughter. Please, at minimum, ever do something like that.
And I don't know if he has done that, but something tells me he probably has done that. But watch the point he tries to make here.
Where people don't know where you're going to be. Listen, my content, I want to touch on 2 things, just so you understand my level of awareness.
Mm-hmm. Level of awareness. Okay.
I did not post that we were in Lubbock, Texas at state because I didn't want people to know. All the content that I post is after the fact. We're already gone. I'm a financial planner. I have clients.
Someone's like, tell it to child star's parents. Yeah, we agree. Like, they're all bad too.
Calling me saying, hey, I saw that you're out there at state. Tell Jaden good luck. And I'm like, hey, just let you know, that was last week. We're past that. She wants to say she did great, whatever. We went to the Bahamas afterwards, and then we're already back in Texas. They're like, oh, but then again,
went to Bahamas.
Measures that I take.
This kid not in school?
Just because I said that I take measures. I don't let my daughter walk in public with her Leo. I make sure that she carries pants with her.
So as soon as he says that, I make sure she carries pants with me. She doesn't walk with her Leo in public. As soon as he said that, I wanted to be like, but you post it in front of 8 million people on the internet instead. Like, does he not see that coming, that argument coming? Like the irony? You don't post her, you don't let her walk around in public in a Leo, but you post her on the internet, which is forever.
Whenever I pick her up from gymnastics, I force her, don't only stay the word course, because you know how people get. I tell her, make sure that you have pants, so whenever we walk out of gymnastics, and if we need to go to Kroger or the store, you are covered, because I tell my daughter knows that.
So none of y'all have pictures of your kids online. None of y'all kids do competitive sports where people are taking pictures. It's, again, Coach Pedro, completely different. And if you can't see that, I wish I could rebut some of these arguments during this conversation. But like Coach Pedro, yeah, we do have pictures of our kids online. We do not have 7.5 million followers, though. We are not famous. Our children are not famous. Okay? We don't rely on our kids to make us our money. So I don't understand that. And he made this point a couple times. Like, there's photographers taking pictures. I can't control if a photographer takes a picture of your daughter doing the splits. And I was like, yeah. But are they posting that on the internet for everybody to consume for free? Or are they taking that picture because they're going to sell it to you as a parent? Like, these photographers aren't at these events. I mean, if you're in the Olympics, it's different. It's posted for the public to see, right? But at that point, I'm pretty sure most of them are of age of consent. If not, I think you can't go to the Olympics unless you're 16. I could be completely wrong about that. I don't know. But even I think some of the Olympics, when I'm watching it, it's totally sexualized. Sorry. Like, look at men's and women's volleyball. Perfect example. Men wear shorts and a t-shirt, and women have to wear literal ass bikinis, or whatever you call thongs, right? They have, I think it's the uniform, and some are like starting to fight back and they're getting penalized for it. Like the men's leotards, they're showy too, don't get me wrong, but they're shorts. Women's are right up their butt. Swimmers, I mean, these are athletes in the peak of their bodies, right? And it's sexualized because that's just, people look at bodies. It's the way it is. And so it's just part and parcel of it. But at the same time, I think most athletes are of age of consent to be there, and plus they're making their money doing it. Their parents aren't exploiting them. I mean, some probably are, but yeah, it's a salient argument to be sure, but it's way different than family vlogging for sure.
There's people like that, but you're telling me that it's too young to have conversations, real conversations with my daughter. But let me just finish one last tip.
Yeah.
I feel that it is important the second they can comprehend it, that they know how this world operates. And yes, there's a lot of bad in this world, but there's a lot of good, but you gotta be aware. I don't send my daughter to the park by herself, but I know that if she were to go to the park for whatever reason by herself, she would make it back just fine because she's aware. She's a smart cookie.
It's dumb. He doesn't get it either. And I think about what to say. Okay, well, she can see a stranger and run away. No stranger danger. That's great that you teach her that. But predators online are different. She can't see that coming.
Okay, I don't.
Predators are smart. They're smarter than your daughter. And you just said something crazy, and you didn't see the irony of it. It's blowing my mind. Is that like, okay, well, you're going to force you to wear pants when we're done this competition because I don't want people at this event looking at or whatever. And yet you post that on the internet, so you'll never be able to see who's looking. That's the irony is math. And that's like, okay, get that in public.
I was like, you don't see the irony, buddy?
But you post her in
her gymnastics.
That is forever. The internet is forever. That's forever.
So going back to when
Somebody's like, can we end this live? That's Haley. Oh, Haley Rhea. That's his manager. She was in the thing. Can we end this live? Haley. I'm sorry, Haley. Sorry to do this to you.
In the Olympics, like you were saying, she makes it to the Olympics and she has zero control, zero consent. Zero whatever.
No, there's consent in the Olympics. These kids know, hey, you're going to be televised, all this kind of stuff. Like, I mean, I sort of agree, but at that point, I mean, yeah. Have you ever seen the video? It's like a GIF now where this girl's doing this tumbling routine, and as she does the end and her legs are split, you see a flash of a camera take that exact moment. So yeah, there is predators there too. But all that does is prove that there are predators everywhere willing to take advantage of any situation. So it's just more proof that maybe don't put her out there more. Okay? Because there are dudes at the Olympics with cameras, with zoom lenses, taking pictures of that stuff. They are. You're right.
And they're going to show the angles that I prevent. I'm not, if you want, people want to see my daughter's routines. I don't post her routines.
He does post her routines.
You have not seen my daughter's beam routine online.
Just a beam routine, okay. I'm sure if I looked, there probably is a beam routine.
There's one in the past if you scroll down, but I don't post those because I don't want that, okay? But I can't just make that my main focus. My main focus is not.
Most people aren't on the internet, yet everyone is saying can't protect her online. Coach Pedro, are you out of your damned mind? Most people aren't on the internet? Did you mean to say most people are on the internet? Is that what you meant to say? Because that's the case. Even in third world countries where the people are very, 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 very poor, they are on the internet. Almost every single person minus babies and children are on the internet in the world. Are you, what kind of what? Billions of people are on the internet. Even if it was 1 billion, that's enough. Can you grasp that for 1 second? 2.989 billion as of April 2023 are on Facebook. 2.9 billion. That's 2 million millions of people.
Predators. My main focus are the people who understand.
Someone says, why does the guy in the bottom care? Why don't you care about child exploitation? That's the better question. Why do I care about child exploitation? Because it's wrong? Why do you care about murder and things that are done wrong to children? Why do you care about abuse? Why do you care about anything? Because we're human, and this is what we should be doing.
Damn, the people who
stupid damn question.
Genuinely care about us.
You keep coming back to this that you think I'm thinking you're doing this for predators. I know you're not. I know you're absolutely not doing.
Do you think that I'm aware that there are predators?
Yeah.
Yes, you admitted it.
Because you admitted there are. But and I don't think that you do this for them, but I think that you just don't seem to care that there are.
Public is an immediate physical danger. The internet is not a physical space. Great Walls of China. Don't be dumb. Because it could turn into public. Especially if you're doing meet and greets, going to these public places, you're famous. You think that famous people just have armed security for no reason? Because what? Because they're on screens. It's not a physical space. But why do politicians, everybody have armed security around them? Why do famous people have bodyguards? Interesting. That's so interesting.
Because you said it with your words. You said, I'm not
just end the live.
going to let that stop me from posting. From posting anything.
You don't post routines because you don't want other competitors to see, not to protect her. Good point.
Like, I'm telling you, man, I'm scrolling. There's leotards, there's splits, there's everything with all your children, your wife, and everything else, and it's great, and your profile's great. Don't get me wrong. The issue is that there's just so much danger online.
Whoa. Yeah. Instead of, knowing my standpoint, knowing your standpoint, knowing how we both are aware, you and I are both fathers, we're both aware, we both take measures. Yours are more conservative than mine, okay? Knowing that all...
Conservative? That's not a conservative and liberal thing to protect your kids, is it? I mean... Actually, if you think about what's going on in our schools right now and the debate between what we're allowing our children to read, by the way, if you're into that, if you're over on Twitter, and some of these books, like, actually, he's right. So I guess taking the conservative lean that protecting kids is more important makes me conservative. Okay, I guess you're right.
Say what's on your mind, not focused on me, but focused on the outside public. Because the reason I brought you on here was to let you give your message.
No, you want to debate me.
So that people who aren't aware or aren't taking measures or maybe need a reminder, in my reminder.
So he's trying to be like, come on my platform and tell people how to protect their kids by telling it to me but I won't do any of that stuff. It's for other people. Okay. Make that make sense.
It was a meme routine that I posted maybe a year ago, which is why
someone says I'm checking out his daughter. Mr. Chance Pants says I'm checking out your daughter. Dude, you couldn't be farther from the truth. I'm trying to protect his daughter because he's not. Isn't that crazy that I do more for these children than their parents do? I try to, anyway, right? At least I have the voice and the platform. I use my platform to try to be the voice for these kids because they don't have it, more than their parents who are sworn to protect them. That should tell you more than you need to know, Mr. Chance Pants. Look this guy up. Wealth management. He works with Roland. Look at this guy. Wealth management, Mr. Chance Pants. Food experimenter, photography dabbler. So he works with Roland and follows them. So he works with him. Okay, Mr. Chance Pants. What if I just put you here, Mr. Chance Pants? It looks like you're a chomo to me. Well, how would that make you feel? Like you don't have any kids. That's really weird. You don't have any kids, eh? But you're here talking about video with kids. It's really weird, right? I don't mean it. And I'm not trying to say it, but imagine I said that, all you care about is money. It looks like to me. So don't just get out there and start talking. Don't say stuff like this to a person who's literally trying to help in the situation when you know I'm right. Because if you had something to say that was able to rebut it, you wouldn't say something stupid like that. Right? You'd be like, well, here, have you ever given this any thought? No. Oh, it looks like you're checking out his daughter.
You're hyper-aware, which is completely fine. What message would you tell them to really, truly focus on? And what information would you give them?
Like, I would just say protect your children. I mean, like...
No, that's relative. That's relative.
No, it's
not. What do you mean it's relative? Protect your children, it's relative. I mean, I think he's maybe saying, like, it's relative, like he might come back to, like, going out in the public and normal, it could be dangerous. That's not what he knows what I mean.
It's not relative. There are many dangers facing children these days, including social media, including online bullying, including predators, including AI, including parasocial relationships, including bullying at school because of what you show, jealousy, all those kinds of things. These kids deal with these things. 7 years old, she's already in a competitive sport that's probably cutthroat, right? She's already got tons of pressure from you to be amazing and perfect.
No.
He's like, no, I don't. Have you seen any of your videos, dude? What do you mean there's no pressure from you? Go watch his videos. I wouldn't say that about anybody else. You tell me. He's like, no, there's no pressure from me. Have you seen any of your videos, dude?
How do you say that? How's that talk?
How do I say it? I can look at your content. Your daughter
How do I say that? I just look at your shit.
is amazing. She doesn't get that way.
But is it tons of pressure from me for her to be amazing?
Yeah. Your daughter wants nothing but to make you happy and smile and say, good job, daughter, I love you. And she does that by pushing herself to really hard degrees with an 8-pack and a 7-year-old. And again, that's not my beef with you.
Why does she have an 8-pack?
See, he's the one who said 8-pack, not me.
Whatever you did, when
He said it.
you said it,
Why does she have an 8-pack?
Why does she have an 8-pack? I don't know, because you push her to extremes? A 7-year-old shouldn't have an 8-pack is the answer.
She works hard.
And why does she work hard? Because you push her.
Sport of her choosing.
Right. Do you think...
See, Brand Nicole's like, she's amazing.
Push my daughter.
What would you do? What would you say if your daughter told you, I don't want to do this anymore?
I don't want my daughter to do gymnastics. I want her to quit.
Stupid question. He would just said, I would have taken her off. That's what he would say. Because they all say that. My ever kid came and said I didn't want to be on videos. I'd take him now. You wouldn't. But he's like, I don't want her to do cheer. So what the F?
Gymnastics so I can see her more and we can actually go travel.
It's like, what did you just say?
Because my job is, if I have Wi-Fi, I can run my business. Our lives revolve around her gymnastics schedule, but she loves gymnastics. She's done it for years. She's amazing, number one in the state for her age or level. Her friends, that's her community. We switched gyms. We built a house.
He keeps deflecting to this whole the athletic side of this, which I don't care about. I could care less, man. That's not my argument here. I mean, it could be if you really wanted to like have a separate debate about child and elite athletics, we could talk about that too, and the danger of it. I'm sure there are psychologists out there who would say this is actually garbage. Same with kids in pageants. That shouldn't exist. I'm not saying kids in sports shouldn't exist, because it should. Kids playing sports can be healthy. It can be really good for them. You could develop crazy skills that could set them up their future. I don't think that we could say we don't want... I mean, you can't, though. The thing is, you can't have elite athletes in these sports making millions of dollars unless they had the childhoods that they had. And a lot of them didn't have childhoods because they played sports their entire childhoods. They didn't have any friends. They only had friends that were on their teams, but they are now making great money. But I've known some hockey players in my life, okay? And the ones I've known, they're pretty, I don't know how you say it's antisocial. Like, they're not really good with social situations. A lot of them are not, because they've just literally been playing sports their entire lives. Now, is that better than like a lot of situations? Of course, there's pros and cons to everything, obviously. But I'm not debating that. But maybe we should.
Closer to a gym so we can be closer to her gymnastics, but her coach moved to another gym, so we switched gyms so she can be with her coach. We spend
in the comments. It's this. This is how you know if this is how you know if what you're doing is good or bad or right or wrong or good or it's gonna last. If you took your daughter off your channel, what would happen?
Then my channel would be focused on something other than my relationship with my daughter.
Do you think it would grow?
I can grow my channel without my...
He did answer that. I can grow it. No, it would die. Your channel would die. He knows it. Would it grow? No, it wouldn't. Because it would have grown before then. You said you had 5,000 subs. Okay? It would have grown then. Why did it grow? Because you were stunting with your daughter in the room with the high ceilings. You admitted it. So it wouldn't, or you would have.
But why would I? Is my goal to grow?
I hope so. If you're social media,
why would I grow? What?
Stupid. Why is my goal? Is it not?
What?
I'm like in my head, like, what are you saying, man?
Listen, why would I want to grow? But I wanted to have a conversation.
I went out and had to come back in. That's what happened.
Put it out there, all out on the table to the public. I have a large platform. I'm not stuck in this video of it. We play a race car game, a little pass, but she's going to be prepared for it. Okay, due to the large platform.
I don't know what he was talking about here. Playing video games with his daughter.
She's going to have
had nothing to do with what we were talking about.
Angel.
I was so upset here because he's wasting my time, and I'm super pissed. Because I want to debate something he's talking about the things that didn't matter at all.
Reese was on the airplane. LSU basketball player. Angel Reese was on our airplane going to the Bahamas. She was trying to be incognito. Everyone on the plane.
Who the hell is Angel Reese, by the way? Kept talking about this Angel Reese person who they saw on the airplane, who's trying to be incognito. Okay, who the hell is Angel Reese? I'm Googling it. Angel Reese is an American basketball player. LSU. Angel Reese is an American college basketball player for the LSU Tigers of the Southeastern Conference, nicknamed the Bayou Barbie. Reese attended she plays college basketball. Like I know I'm Canadian, but am I supposed to know who that is?
That was Angel Reese. Like, imagine how Angel Reese feels. Just because you're good at basketball, millions of people know who you are.
I don't like this guy, Josh. She's saying she doesn't like him or she doesn't like me.
And I knew you were too. Out of respect, I did talk to her about it, keep it long-winded, but
She's trying to stay low-key, so I talked to her.
Angel Reese is very good at basketball. Should she stop playing basketball?
Like, he had to make this point. I already had my counterpoint. 2 seconds, I knew where he was going. Look, she wanted to be Incognito. Angel Reese is an adult, not a 7-year-old.
Because she knows that millions of people are watching her be great. And probably some of them are sickos. No, do that while knowing those types of people are out there, and be cautious and know that daddy will do everything in his power. But then again,
except take her off the internet.
Everything is subjective, okay?
Well, the difference though between Angel Reese and what you're saying is Angel Reese is an adult and can make those decisions for herself. Your child, you make her decisions for her. And Angel Reese can make a choice. No one else is making choices for her. You're making the choice for your daughter.
But one day she's going to have to make choices for herself, and will she be prepared?
But wouldn't it be awesome if she was able to make the choice of her online personality? Wouldn't it be awesome to say she wanted to tell her story? Again, I'm just telling you that the internet's forever, and you know this. Wouldn't it be great that if she could, because when our kids are old enough, like when they get our age, they're going to be paying thousands, if not millions of dollars to have their digital footprints erased for something you might have said, something you might have done, or something you don't want on the internet. Okay? That's just the reality of it. And the Angel Reese can say, I don't want this because I don't like the pressure. Your daughter can't. You make the choice for her.
Would Angel Reese say that?
No, of course not. She makes her money doing this.
I think she's a college basketball player. I don't know if she makes her money doing this. I mean, sounds like she's probably a top female basketball player headed to the NBA, WNBA, but that's what it sounds like. She's
1.9 meters is about 6 feet 2 inches.
oh, she's tall.
Is going to be, so I understand you're saying, take her, don't
People are like, who the F is Angel Reese?
let the world know who your daughter is until she's able to make her own decisions. I understand that. But if she's going to be along the way, I'm preparing her, I'm showing her the reality of what comes along with.
You don't have to show her the reality by using it.
My daughter reviews all the videos. If she doesn't like it, I'm not going to post it. I don't stunt with my daughter unless
Everybody said that. Every single family vlogger said that.
she wants to stunt.
Did your daughter want her out there coughing on the internet?
My daughter will ask me to stunt sometimes in public, but I don't want to do
My daughter will, stunt.
it. You know what I mean? Like, you got to understand that I don't force my daughter to do anything whatsoever. And
Although there is a video there that a lot of people sent me about him allowing a stranger to stunt with his daughter, and she almost fell like a couple of times. A stranger to stunt with his daughter. So he won't force her to do it, but there's a video, again, of a stranger in public where he forces his daughter to stunt with this lady. Unbelievable. I wish I'd known that in this conversation. Be like, can you explain to me why you have a video of her hanging out with a stranger doing stunting? Are you crazy? Could die. This sport that they're doing, she could die. Okay, this kid is small, could land on her neck and die. Okay, could be paralyzed, could break something, could break bones. They aren't messing around. This kid is being thrown up in the air like 10 feet, if not more. Okay, and I'm not, they're practiced and she's an athlete and I'm sure she's fallen a bunch of times, but this person was on grass, could have fallen on a rock. I'm sure they've stunted on pavement. This is dangerous. And you're filming everything. What happened? And I'm sure I don't know his content. I'm sure that he has actually filmed her falling. This is not safe, is what I'm saying. Especially with strangers.
protect my daughter, but not at the level. Because if you're saying...
but I think if you ask any influencer who has tons of stars, especially children, influencers, and actors, most of them would say that they did not...
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I think you should stand your ground on that. But I just want to let you know that I think that what you're doing is great. Bringing awareness to the fact that there are absolute creepers and people doing weird stuff.
I agree with you. You just said that's all. This whole video I'm talking could have just been right there. I agree with you. There are creepers and stuff doing stuff online with a kid. And if you admit that out loud but not in the next sentence saying, so you're right, I should probably take my daughter off that where it's dangerous. That's crazy to me. You don't see it?
I think you should not stop doing that because somebody has to do it.
Someone said you should ask if his daughter's ever been approached in public. She has been, because there are videos of her stunting with strangers in public. Of course they've been approached in public. They have 7.5 million followers on TikTok. I have 215,000 on YouTube, and I've been approached in public multiple times. Airports, stores, Walmarts, Costco's, and it's fine. Don't get me wrong, but they've been approached in public. I promise you.
You know what I mean? I feel that awareness is everything. But I also feel that you should, like I said, I haven't looked at your content, but get to know the person and the background.
So he brings it back to like, okay, well, you totally destroyed me in this, but I want to say you called me a loser, and so be careful. Get to know me first before you do that. And then after this conversation with him, I have not changed my opinion at all. You did not change my opinion. You just confirmed what I thought. So what do you mean? Fine, that maybe he's right to a degree, or is like, okay, maybe there are some people out there with some kind of mitigating something that they have to do it for. I don't know. I can't think of a reason why you have to exploit children, but you know what I mean? He's sort of right that if I approach people respectfully, probably we get better conversations. He's right. But at the same time, he's like, get to know him. He lost. And so now he's like deflecting to like, hey man, don't be mean.
First, before making that judgment.
Sure. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. I mean, especially, again, apologize for calling you loose, but you're right. I think starting off these conversations respectfully is really important. And that's something that you have definitely.
So this is me conceding a point, right? This is how you concede a point. He says, look, I'm hurt by you calling me a loser. And you're like, you know what, Roland? You're right. I apologize for calling you a loser. And you're right. I should probably start these off. That's somebody conceding something. Okay? Staying it out right. That's a man. Okay? I'm a man here. I'm showing this guy to be a man. And he's still not picking up on it. You're right, Roland. You're absolutely right about that. I was wrong for that thing. And I'm admitting it out loud in public that I was wrong for the thing. Did you hear him do any of that in any of this conversation?
Open my eyes to, and I think it's way more important to do it that way because that will reach more people that way. You're right.
Yes, and more than anything, two people can disagree and still have a cordial conversation.
Yeah, remember he said that. We can have a cordial conversation. So he wasn't expecting me to come in with like, hey, you're right, respect, this and that, and like, thanks for this, and thank you for having this conversation, blah, blah. It's the craziest thing because we had a couple of heated points together. But what set him off was me giving him props. Watch.
Okay. Yeah. So really, with the given information, everyone commenting and listening, they can make their own decision or their own opinions based off that. But I'm about to run and work. Keep doing what you're doing. Just please be, because...
But Jody had a comment in there. She's like, or Jordy had a comment in there that just says, we don't need to know you as a person. We can see your content. Now, I'm sure you're probably... fine in real life, maybe, I don't know, after this threat, I don't know. But you're right, like people are different than they are online. But that's one of my points that I make. You are different. When the camera's on, you're different. You're fake. You're lying to the public and your children. And your children see who you are when the camera's on, when the camera's off, which is also super psychologically detrimental to them, just so you're all aware. So no matter what point they try to make all here, it always comes back to all you are doing is wrong. Everything. And you're just proving my point time and time again.
Realistically, if I truly wanted to, I could find out where you live.
Mm-hmm. See.
And like I said, I can believe that I can book a flight to Canada. Yeah.
This is where he starts threatening. So again, I gave him props and admitted to being wrong about something. And what he does is come back with a threat. Something flicked in his head. He didn't like that I gave him respect for some reason.
And I can come find you as well.
Really cold here, dude.
I'm again trying to diffuse. It's cold here, man. You sure you want to come here? You're from Texas.
I go to Alaska every year to shoot the aurora. That's the cameras.
Probably go to Alaska in the summer, though, so spare me.
But just so you know, for your protection, if I truly wanted to, I could knock on your door and find you and your family.
And I said this in my live. Try it. Try it. If I went up to my door and this man was standing at my door, like I would open the door, I would step out into the porch, and I'd be like, why are you at my front effing door? Okay? Like it would be cordial at that point. I'd be like, here's what you're going to need to do. Okay? You're going to need to get back in your Uber, and you're going to need to leave my property. Okay? I would never do that to somebody. Now, earlier, some people called me out. They're like, you threatened to go to Micah's neighborhood and protest. I did. The very next video, this is like probably one of the first 5 videos I ever did on YouTube. And this is where I was super angry at what they did to H. Okay? but there was not an excuse for it. I shouldn't have done it. But would I have done it? No. But, and again, it's not threatening them to go in their house and like, he's not threatening to come picket. I was threatening to come picket with people to be like, you know, down with these exploiters. That's what I was pick. I wasn't going to their house and starting fights. Mine was a little bit different, but wrong. Don't get me wrong. Yes, I shouldn't have said it. And I corrected it in the next video and I apologize right away. Okay? Picketing is always a little bit different than threatening someone what he's doing right here. Because watch what he does.
Yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely. And I know the danger of being online in general, right?
See, what I should have done right here has been like, I should have called him out. But at the same time, I kind of wanted to diffuse it. Because I didn't want to end this thing on a super bad note. I know he's just upset, but it didn't actually click with me till after how upset he really was. I was just going along. I thought he was just being jokey about it initially. And then I started realizing, nah, he's not joking.
And that's why I talk about this. Because you're right. Anybody could find your address right now. Anybody could. And go see your daughter if maybe she's out scooting around in the driveway. Anybody can come.
I skipped over that part where he talks about he wouldn't make his kids wear helmets. It was crazy.
You know, whatever. That's what I'm saying. You're right.
See, now everybody's like, what the heck?
It is dangerous. What we do is not like everybody else. And we got to do what we can to keep everybody safe. I think you're right.
And you know what? Just to prove that.
And he had a moment right here to be like, okay, cool, let's end this. But he didn't like that. Now he's going to be like.
I don't have to prove it, but just to let you know how aware I am, I'm going to find out where you live. And then I'm going to send a package.
See my face? I'm like, keep talking, buddy. Never interrupt your enemy when they're talking. I could have intervened here and been like, dude, why are you threatening me? And like, could have called him out. But why not? Why? Just let him talk. Let him do the thing. I wonder if Haley comes back in this conversation.
And it's not.
Perfect response to that threat. Someone says,
I'm not going to ask you, but I'm going to find out where you live. It's not going to be anthrax.
Someone says, I'd like to see your criminal history, Roland. It's not going to be anthrax, he said.
I just want to show you how aware I am and how
Please don't make it anthrax. I love U.S. treats. So hook me up.
See, I'm diffusing here. I'm not getting up in arms, upset. I'm not going to be like, yo, bud, let's do this, bro. Throw down. I'm not doing that here because I wouldn't. Again, this is how I would treat anybody who come on my show who I talk about. I don't care if I snark on you 10 times a week. I would treat you like this. If you threaten me, I wouldn't be like, oh, man, let's dick measure. I'm not that. No. Say what you're going to say. I'm trying to diffuse it because I don't want this to end on a bad thing. I'm like, dude, you're dumb for doing this. But whatever. Continue. Everybody in the comments, they're like, what the heck?
Just know that it's going to be a good challenge, but it's not going to be ill-intentioned. I just want
not going to be ill-intentioned.
to show you that I'm aware, okay? So I'm about to go run. I have 7 minutes before I start this.
Roland, that's really inappropriate.
Keep doing what you're doing, but just be careful because people, if you...
Don't do that, Roland, they're saying.
You know, not everyone's going to be as calm as I am. And if you really come at the wrong person, just like you said, people can do all this stuff and find out all this information. Protect yourself as well. You're a grown man. You can put yourself out there however you want, but just be careful because I have a very vindictive nature.
So if he's not a threat, why are you saying I have a very vindictive nature? Just him putting all of these things together, and I'm just looking at him like, are you saying this out loud, buddy? Are you saying it? So you're threatening me. Then you say, oh, it's all in good fun, but I'm vindictive. Putting that all together, dude, what? Even your fans are like, what the hell? What are you saying, Roland? This guy had a really good image of himself, I think, up to this point. It really did. There have been many, like hundreds of people messaging me about how they messaged him. And like, I don't think he's going to understand the ramifications of what he's saying right here, legally and otherwise.
And back in the day, if you would have caught me whenever social media was blowing up, I probably would have tried to find out where you live.
And do what? Because you just admitted you're going to try to find out where I live now. So you're saying, see, he's like, I'm vindictive. And back in the day, I would have tried to find out where you lived. And then not 3 minutes ago, you said that you're going to try to find out where I live anyway. So make it make sense.
Okay. Now I probably would have done it for a different reason. And I would have had the means to make it up there.
Again, it's freezing, dude. I don't think you can make it.
Even though it's cold, I could buy a jacket. I could be good. It's just
someone's like, cut him off. No.
You got to be aware of that as well. Because
someone's like, I already found Roland's address.
You get off the wrong person. Just like you said about that little girl, shot down, boom, 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 click. You're out too. Okay.
See? Just like that little girl, because I told him about the Ava case. Just like that little girl, boom, 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 boom. That's a threat. Like, I'm sorry. I don't care what you guys say. And he's trying to be all, like, I don't know, willy-nilly about it, but that's a threat, what he just did. Just like that girl that had the guy come shoot their house, boom, 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 boom to you, is what he's saying. And he's saying he's the guy that's going to do that. Dude, are you going to bring a gun to Canada? You're not going to get across the border, first of all. Plus, we don't just have guns here like that. Like, I got my gun license. You know how long it takes to get a gun license in Canada? Let me be real. In Texas, you could probably go buy one at Walmart and, like, probably just go get one like you're buying a pack of Skittles. Not like that here. It took me a year to get my gun license. And that's a non-restricted gun license. Like, I can only have a certain thing, like, for hunting only. And, like, it takes a long time. It's not, like, I think he thinks Canada's like Texas. It's nothing like Texas.
So stay aware. I would just change the approach and try to bring more positive. No, you don't have to do anything. I would recommend try to bring more positivity.
He's like, I'd recommend being more positive to people that exploit children. No.
And more meaningful conversations to be had. Okay. So
I'm just sitting here thinking, oh my gosh. My face is like, let's get out of this conversation. It's escalating. And I think he wanted me to escalate. I think he actually was expecting me to be like, yo, bro. And like, see, he's a dude. You know, I'm glad I kept my composure. Also, at the same time, I didn't really register it. It really did not register as clearly as everybody's registering right now because I don't know. I'm just trying to keep it cordial.
Have an amazing day. I'm about to run to this meeting. I'm sure we'll do a recap, and I'm going to actually follow you to see how your content goes, and I hope you follow me.
You following me?
And to see how I keep finding more and more tweaks. Although I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing, because I'm doing it for a different reason. Just keep looking for the tweaks that I continue to make, and maybe we can do a 1 year recap on how we feel about each other.
Sure. Sounds good. See you later.
I'm like, bye.
Yeah.
Y'all.
This guy. So what's happening after that argument? He didn't have a chance to, like, obviously cool down or reassess what happened in the conversation. He's like, yo, this is where he was like, oh my gosh. And then he messaged me later and he's like, it was silly of me to invite you on. I had an influencer reach out and said, tell me about you and not to talk to you. And he's like, you know, I wish you the best and stuff after the threats and stuff. He said he did clarify he's not going to send me something. That's what he said. So I think he realized after, and I think Haley probably reached out to him after this and said, you literally threatened another creator on the internet. He did it on Instagram too. So part of me wants to message Instagram and say, just so you're aware, this guy with 1 million subscribers is like really out there just threatening people. I mean, there has got to be some recourse for this. Not like I'm going to hire a lawyer or anything. Nothing you can do about it. Like, just don't threaten me. That's all I'm saying. That's craziness. But this is what he said after.
That was cool. Like, that guy came at me
sideways,
super sideways, and so I was like, hey, let's go live. Let's talk to the public. And he came at me with not really death threats, but
again, he says this. He came with me not with death threats, but no, of course it didn't come with death threats. But I said this in my life. Why would you even say that? There was no inkling of death, nothing. Why would you say that?
He came at me with like very ill intentions and very aggressive.
Called you a loser.
And so I was just like, hey, if you want to talk, let's talk to the public. Like, you doing this behind the screen stuff. But the thing is, he has a very good message. Like, child exploitation is real. But
see, Dimitri Thompson says, I took so many screenshots of the people that were talking shit. Followed by Roland. He's a friend of Roland's. He follows me. So basically I just said, hey there, I'm covering my conversation with Roland, and I noticed in the comments that you said you were taking screenshots of people talking shit for Roland. What are your intentions with those screenshots? As you know, Roland threatened me in that convo, so I just want to know what you plan on doing with the screenshots. Thanks. He follows me.
Having that said, if you choose to have that stop, what you're like, you don't know, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I understand that there are creepos out there. But the followers who support us, I'm not going to stop posting online just because of that. I'm going to be aware.
You're aware, and then you stop. I'm aware, and I'm going to keep going. I'm aware that there are predators that live in my neighborhood, but I'm still going to send my kid to the park.
My content is tailored, but he's telling me, shut down my entire account.
No, I'm not. I said, what happens if you take your daughter off your account?
And he also told me that if I shut down all of my accounts, I would be not successful.
No, I said, what happens if you take your daughter off your accounts? Would it grow? Why are you getting this stuff? You're such a liar. You guys all heard it.
In a sense, you know what I mean? And he had no ill intentions. He's just passionate about his message. He's very passionate about his message. There's nothing wrong with that. But y'all, just
don't you have to run to a meeting?
As I said, be aware of. And by the way, I'm not y'all. My manager shot shot me a text, and she said, this live is stressing me out. Because I told him that, like, my manager knows that I'm crazy, and, like, he knows that I have a lot of free time.
So he just said, not only did he say he was vindictive, he's going to find where I was, and if this was me in the past, I would find out where he is, and then he said he was going to find out where I am, but he's like, my manager knows I'm a crazy person. And watch what he says.
I do whatever I want. But hey, I'm going to find out where he lives, but I'm going to send him a nice.
What were you going to say first, though? Haley, I'm not going to what? And then he's like, but I'm going to find out where he lives. What weren't you going to do? Send me anthrax? What do you explain it to me?
Yeah, I'm not about to just find him, but he was like, oh, anybody can find, like, hey, I can find you. Did you know that?
And then he reached out to me. He's like, do you live in Ontario? He's like, just so you know, I reached out to somebody from your past that goes to your church. There's a guy on Reddit that says they know me in real life. I know who it is. Actually, I don't. It's between two people. Okay, I'm not going to say it out loud. But that person reaches out to, like Ames did, reaches out to all my haters and says, this is where he lives. This is all you need to know about him. And if it's the person that's on the Reddit, this person, if it's any of the two people I think it is, and I know, they go to church. They, like, believe in Jesus, and they, like, actively go to church. And they're out there, like, doing this online. Anyway, all that to say, he's like, I know where you live. And then he posted my old address. So I was like, okay, send something to my old address. Okay. But all that to say, he, like, in my DMs messaged me where he thinks I lived. And he did know my old address. So that's threatening, in my opinion. So it's okay. As long as he doesn't put it on the internet publicly, it's fine. That's not doxing. Because I've reached out to people, too, in the past and said, like, hey, take down these lies about me because I know who you are. Right? That's it. Again, don't threaten me or my family. There's nothing I won't do within the legal boundaries of what I'm allowed to do. So, but he did, just so you guys are aware, he did reach out to me. He knows I live in Ontario. He knows my old address because of that person that's in those threads.
You talking mess to people? Like, what if you talk mess to the wrong person? You know he can find out where you are and bang, bang, bang. I'm not going to...
Bang, bang, bang. The people I talk mess about, you think family bloggers are going to come to my house and shoot me or something? Is that what you think is going to happen?
Do that, but you got to... consider all things, okay?
Consider all things. Okay, he just keeps going on and he leaves. So all that to say, wow, what a crazy conversation. So Roland Pollard, like, in the end, this guy has no idea. Like, he has an idea. He says he has an idea. He knows there's predators, all this. The whole conversation can be summed up to this. Yes, I know that you're right, but I don't care. That's it. And at least he sort of said it out loud. Right? He kept being like, he was almost proud about it. But I think after this conversation, he likely watched that live. He's watched my lives and he's seen this. He's probably watching this video. I hope he's having second thoughts about what he's doing, or at least thinking more about it. But his content hasn't changed. It sounds like he's got a lot of pride, tons of pride. And these types of people who are narcissists, who put themselves online, a lot of them are super prideful. Right? They make their money this way and they don't want to be told what to do because they're inherently they think they're owed it for some reason. Like, why I owe the internet to see my daughter in leotards. Like, they think that they are here and how dare anybody tell me what I can do and not do. This whole disrespect thing that he keeps talking about is crazy because I actually gave him mad respect multiple times and apologized to him. I don't know what else you expect for respect. Like, you want me to agree with your points? Because that's not respect, dude. Okay, respect to you is actually coming to your face like you asked me to and saying it to your face like I did. That's respect. And then apologizing to you for calling you a loser, that's respect. And then giving you props for actually having the balls to come talk to me, that's respect. But that's all you were due. You did not deserve respect in any other respect. And so these people who think they are owed respect because they have big followings, no, you're not. You earn respect. You're not deserved it. Earn that. And the only way you're going to earn respect from me as a dad to another dad is by protecting your daughter. And it doesn't sound like you're going to do that ever. Anyway, good luck with the fallout from threatening me. That's crazy. I have lots of people reaching out to you. And I'm not saying you should do that. But there are people who have reached out to the places he's partnershiped in with, like these insurance and like financial stuff. And they're talking to their ethics committees and stuff about this video. So there's going to be fallout from this. And he's sponsored by like Dole, sponsored by American Girls, Dolls or whatever. I'm like, is this who you really want to be connected to? I don't know. But I don't think he's ever come online and done something like this before. And I think he's totally regarding it. And Haley, sorry. Haley, do this with me, okay? If you're watching, I know you're watching. Take a deep breath. You're going to need it. Ready? Breathe that out. Deep breaths are really important when your client is doing skullduggery, okay? Really important. Sorry for your loss of your client, stuff like that. But you're right to get them off the internet. You get off this live right now, you're right. Anyway, you guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of this conversation. Thank you for being in that chat and coming and standing up for me. I appreciate you. That was awesome. I feel like we are all kind of one hive mind when it comes to this type of thing. And like people are really waking up to it. Those who actually didn't believe before are starting to believe. People are, even his fans, were like, what? This makes sense. There are people who actually have hearts in their bodies who want to protect kids, who wake up to this every single day. People are like, what are you doing, Josh? You don't do anything. You exploit children. There are people every single day who change their mind because of my videos. That's a win. If one person changes their mind, that's a win. If one family vlogger changes their mind, that's a win. And I've had many, many wins, okay? And it's me and this whole community, even if they all hate me, talking about it. That's the win, collectively. Okay, it's not just me. There's a whole bunch of people talking about this stuff. And as much as they probably hate me too, it doesn't matter. You guys deserve this win too, okay? Thanks for being here, everybody. Thanks for being amazing. Don't forget you are incredible and you are valuable. And you need to be here. Protect your kids, and I'll see you when I see you.
It's that time of year. DCP's here to snark and to jeer for these buttholes to hear. Don't forget to book your pap smear. Snarkmas 2023.
Ho, ho, ho! Nana, you son of a bitch!